Hey, what's happening? This is your host Tinto. Before we get started on this week's episode, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that got me coffees, starting with you, Miss Anonymous. Thank goodness you told me not to say your name at the last minute because I'd have said it today. Thank you so much for your generous gift. That's 10 solid coffees, ladies and gentlemen. And your commentary reads, Shamari Basarano ita rakakura notoda uchinwa makofi. Chimbobatane apa. I binge listened to all the episodes. I missed out whilst life was lifing. Yeah, pakaipa. Come tell us. And then my husband doesn't understand why I love this podcast, but before him, Mjolo almost got me admitted into. One day I'll share my stories. Well, I'll be more than happy to host you. Please come through. My goodness, thank you so much for your generosity. Next up, I got Carol, 3 coffees. Thank you so much. Your comment there reads, Hi Tinto, I'm a late boomer. Only started listening to your podcast 2 months ago, and my drive to and from work has been fun. This is therapy on its own. The lessons are great. You're amazing. Keep the ball rolling. Much love. All the way from Australia. Hey, thanks, Carol. And then I got Miss King, 2 generous coffees. Thank you so much, my love. And your comment there reads, Tinto, our very own therapist. We appreciate you. I appreciate you too. And then I have 3 generous coffees again from I Am Vusi. And your comment there reads, Tinto, there can never be enough coffees to thank you for this masterpiece of a podcast. Some of us are and have been dodging bullets thanks to the lessons. Thanks, bro. Keep going. Man, I really can't thank you guys enough for this incredible support that you give me. It really does keep me going. And if you'd like to support the podcast in a similar way, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/feeling station and give as your spirit leads. Remember, there's nothing too small to support the podcast that you've grown to love. With that out of the way, yeah, let's get into this week's episode. I think you're gonna like this one.
Is that a breakup? I think we have a situation right here on the Feeling Station.
Hello, hi.
Oh, there we go. Finally.
Yeah,
I really don't know what happened. Sometimes if you're doing FaceTime audio, you need to ring twice. So apologies for that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thank you.
For those who are listening to the podcast for the first time, it's a romantic family and friendship breakup podcast showcasing stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give lessons from their experiences. I hope you find today's story entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful. Now, the podcast is popular for 2 main reasons. The first being, I do my best to keep you anonymous, my friend. Are you ready for the name I have for you?
Yes.
Right,
Yes,
so
definitely.
I've picked a name from West Africa, Nigeria in particular, from the Yoruba tribe. And the name is Monifa, which is Monifa.
Okay.
And what that means is lucky.
Okay.
Did you feel you were lucky with the guy you're about to talk about?
I think so. I think so. We'll see.
So why are you here if you're lucky?
We'll see how it unfolds. But yeah.
Okay, so your name is Monifa. Hopefully you remember that. You can shorten it if you feel the need to. And what name are you giving the name of the person? Sorry, what name are you giving the person you're talking about?
I've been thinking about this and I can't really seem to find a name. Anyway, we'll go with Barashi.
Barashi. Okay, but why that? Why Barashi?
I don't know. I've always wanted that name for my kid.
Oh yeah. Oh, what Rashi? Is that correct?
Rachel.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. So Barashi, right? Okay, I like that.
I hope I'll remember.
I hope for your sake, I hope you do too. And the second reason why the podcast is really popular is there are real life lessons that people are going to take away from the story you're going to share. So, what would you like anybody listening to this to walk away with?
Okay. These are not written down, so you'll remind me later.
Okay.
The first one we'll go with is when you love hard. If it works out, that's okay. And if it doesn't, you know you gave it your all.
Oh, I like that. I really like that. It's a very mature lesson. It shows growth and it shows that, sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. Yeah, and I really like that. Yeah, and I really like that. So, do you have another lesson?
Yes. This one is a hard pill to swallow because I'm also learning from that.
Mm-hmm.
The importance of knowing your partner
Mm-hmm.
fully before marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just take
Oh,
your time. Yeah.
okay.
Mm.
It's that's a I don't know. I got something to say about that.
Okay.
Because I don't think you can know them fully. You kind
Yeah,
of know them day by
yeah.
day. You know, they present a different face, and this is why it's important to constantly check in with your person, whether it's monthly, it's half yearly, it's every year. Just check, hey,
Yeah.
you know what's different about me, and they should be asking the same about themselves. What's different about me? And if you guys are honest with each other, you can fix what that difference is. And then you always
Yeah.
grow together. But knowing them fully before marriage, good luck to many, Shem. Okay, all right. Did you have a third lesson?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Just the power of red flags and intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Listen to your
you're
intuition
saying
and be
red flags are
aware of red
powerful, yeah?
flags. This is everyone's lesson, but well, red flags are just gonna be there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm trying to see how I can phrase that. I'll say the power of red flags is real and listen to your intuition.
Listen to your intuition and
Yeah.
be aware of red flags. I
Okay.
think we can put it
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good. Okay. I like that. Do you have a fourth one?
The final one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so a breakup, especially after a serious commitment
Mm-hmm.
like marriage, can be a
Mm-hmm.
powerful catalyst for personal growth and
100%.
self-discovery. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I like that a lot. Because again, I think it's true. You know, half the time we all have options we take after serious and committed relationships to either let them wear you down completely, where you lose yourself, or use that as a lesson to do better.
Yeah, true. Mhm.
I think we all just need somebody to hold our hand to move in the direction of growth and becoming better. Otherwise, if we don't do that, the world genuinely will just be a really horrible, miserable place full of people with broken hearts.
Yeah. So a breakup can either make you or
Or
break
break
you.
you,
So
yeah.
you'd rather choose that it makes you.
100%. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an incredible one. Right, so let
Hmm.
me play these back. I hope I remember them, and it looks like I have to remember them for you because you didn't write them down. But here goes. The first one. When you love, love hard. And if it works out, great. If it doesn't, you know that you gave it your all.
Yes.
Number two, know your partner fully before marriage. Take your time. Number three, listen to your intuition and be aware of red flags. And last but not least, a breakup, especially after serious commitment like marriage, can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and self discovery.
Yes.
Magic. Monifa, let's get into this. Where did you meet Barashi and why did you decide, hey, this is the guy for me?
So this was, I think, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
I had actually been out of a relationship and I decided, oh, I'm just going to take a good year before I commit into any other relationship, focus on my studies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So a friend of mine then said, oh, I know of this guy. He's a good guy. I think you guys can actually be a good couple.
Mm-hmm.
And can I give him your number? And I said no initially. And then she just insisted. And then I was like, okay, you can give him my number.
Mm-hmm.
But then that was now in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And then, well, oh yeah, he sent a message. We started talking. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't getting good vibes with him anyway.
Oh.
I just got the vibe that, oh, this guy is nagging and um no, it's not what I want. It's not what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him that you sound like someone who's nagging and I don't think I can be in a relationship with you. And also I actually lied and said I'm actually in a serious relationship at the moment and I'm planning a marriage with this person. I wasn't in a relationship, I was on a break. And I lied just to, to put him off.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, yeah. Then after some time, he asked me if he can just come and visit just to say hi and stuff where I was working. I was like, okay, that's fine. You can come. And he came. And then I saw him. We just talked. But still, I was like, nah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And then years later, that was now 2019, he then dropped a message and just said hi. And I was like, hi. And we just started talking and stuff like that. And then,
So that's 2 years
um,
later.
yes,
Okay, yeah.
2 years later. And then, yeah, at that time we were talking, and yeah, the conversations were different and stuff like that. And then he told me he would like to get to know me, get into a relationship with me and stuff like that. And I was like, have you changed? Because from the last time that we talked, there was a reason why I couldn't get into a relationship with you.
Yeah.
So have things changed and stuff like that? And then he said, oh, yeah, yes, I have changed. I'm matured now. It's been 2 years and stuff like that. And oh, yeah, the conversations were going on well. I didn't pick anything that was amiss or anything. I was like, okay, yeah, I guess he's taken his time to grow. And yeah, we can maybe get into a relationship or something. But anyway, we continued talking. That was in December, January. And then in February, he asked if he can visit me. I said, yes, you can come through. So he came through in February. That's when we started dating.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you see for yourself that he's not nagging anymore?
Yes, he wasn't. And, the conversations that we had, well, it was a long distance thing, but the conversations that we're having were okay.
So what did you like
Yeah.
about him now then? That made you say yes.
Well, this is someone who had shown that he's now mature and stuff like that, and he was in for something serious relationship, and yeah, he wasn't there to play. So yeah.
I'm keen to understand how a man demonstrates that they're serious. How did he show it to you that he was now serious?
Oh, just through conversations, actually, just through conversations, and talking about how he wants his life, how he's planning about his life and everything, how he wants his future to be like, and yeah.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and I thought, yeah, I think I can fit in that future.
Nice. Okay, so he asked you to be his girlfriend. You guys become girlfriend and boyfriend.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was in February when he had visited, and yeah.
February 2019.
That was now 2020.
2020. Okay, so February 2020.
2020.
Cool, nice. Just in time for Valentine's.
Yes.
What did you do for you on Valentine's Day?
Do I even remember? I don't know, but yeah, we were together.
Okay.
The day that I remember was on the 12th of February. We went for a friend's birthday party and
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, and I got to introduce him to my friends. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Yeah.
It's always significant when you introduce your person to your friends. It's a good sign.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, tell me how things went then after that point.
So after that point, when he had visited, then he had mentioned before that he's planning on relocating and everything. So he was still doing his papers. Mentioned he might be going end of March, and I was like, okay,
Oh,
that's okay.
what different town or different country?
Different country altogether.
Wow. Okay.
Different continent.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, we can work that out. We have technology, we can talk. And then he said, "Oh, before I go, is it okay if I introduce you to my parents?"
Nice.
And I was like, "Okay, we can do that." Yeah, and I went and saw his parents, his family, and we did have a great time then. We had a great time.
So getting introduced to the family for you must have meant something.
Oh yeah, he had said his intentions that he wants someone to
To be
marry.
okay, to be his
Yeah,
wife.
Yes.
Okay. So these initial introductions were just to let the family know that, hey, this is the person I might be getting married to.
I want to get married too.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay, right.
and yeah. And also, yeah, I think there's a point where I sat with the father and he was asking me, what are your intentions? Do you guys intend to get married? If so, do you know that he's relocating? What are your plans and stuff like that? Yeah, yeah,
That's a very pertinent question.
yeah.
You know,
Well, we had it planned. I was gonna follow.
okay.
Or if not, I was also trying another country. You could then come and join me. So whatever comes first. Yeah. Either I
Right.
go to where he is or he comes to where I was going.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, we are talking through over the phone from that time. Oh, sorry, he then went end of March.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to this country. But she went to another country.
Mm-hmm.
And from March to November, everything was okay. We were talking hours on the phone and, planning and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then he then mentioned that he wants to get married.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually working towards that and everything. And I was like, I think we can just wait because he wasn't gonna get like good leave days to come back and do the lobola thing and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then, yeah, and then he was like, no, I'll just send delegates from my family and stuff like that. I'm like, let's wait and stuff like that. But yeah, and then over time, we then just agreed, oh yes, he can do that. He can pay the lobola, and then I'll move. Yeah,
Why did you want him to wait?
to get married.
Yeah.
Oh, we were planning a future, a good future. Things were like we're building castles in air, and
Yeah.
it looked good.
So I thought you'd have been all over it to say, yeah, let's do it. But you're asking him to wait.
Though I wanted him to be there.
Oh, right. Okay. Physically
Yeah,
present.
yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
wanted him to be there, but yeah, he was not going to get some time off work
Mm-hmm.
to really come and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, eventually, then I said, "Oh yes, we can do that." That was maybe in August or something like that, and then we started just planning around.
Mm-hmm.
And in November, first red flag, bright red flag.
Bright red
So
flag, you know.
we're talking about weaves, wigs, and stuff like that. And then he said, "Oh, I want to buy you a wig. Let me send you screenshots and stuff." So he sent me the screenshots. And amongst the screenshots were two screenshots where he was talking to different girls.
So I sent them by mistake.
Yes.
Wow. Talking
He
about
did.
talking about God coming through.
I know, right?
Yeah, man, in the least expected ways. Wow.
I know, right? And then I was like, dude, what's this, Barashi? What's this? Okay, anyway, there were not any messages where he was in a relationship with someone, but just like, hi, I want to get to know you, something like that. And yeah.
Who are saying I want to get to know you, him or the person?
Barashi.
But she was saying this to someone else.
Yes, yes, yes.
And were there responses to that?
Yeah.
What were the responses from the person?
Well, the screenshots were not complete, so it was like hi. Not there was really nothing, but this was not when you're trying to get to know someone,
Yeah.
just those initial messages, yeah. So that was that. And then of course I I threw a fit, and I told him I don't like this, and I would never want to feel this way again. That maybe something is going on in the background and stuff. So initially he gave like a lame excuse, a really lame excuse.
Well,
He
what
said
did he say?
that because when he used to go out with his friends, I would never like call him, "Hi, how are you there? Are you enjoying?" or something like that. You said you're going out with your friends. That's okay. Go enjoy. When you
Yeah.
come back, I'm here. And then we pick it up from there.
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying, "Why don't you call me?" and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm not that type of a person. Then he said, "Oh, you're not jealous of me and stuff." So with these screenshots, he was like, I wanted to see how jealous you are. I'm like, no, no,
Bro, okay, right,
no.
okay.
Anyway, that was that, the screenshots and everything. And then he played it down actually. But then there was a day, and then I sat down, sent him a message, and told him that if you're gonna cheat on me, you'd rather just move on. I would not appreciate that. I would want to be respected in this relationship. So don't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that put aside, and then we picked it up from wherever we had left it. And then we had a wedding, a traditional wedding. He sent the delegates, everything went well. It was a really good day.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was happy. And then after that, we were now planning a wedding so that at least we have papers, when I move or when he moves, wherever I'm going, whatever comes first.
Yeah.
It's planned, yeah. And then that was end of January. And then sometime in May, a random girl sends me a message from Facebook. "Hi, do you know Barash?" I'm like,
Mm-mm.
"Oh yeah, I do." And then she's like, "Oh, I wanted to send you some screenshots, but I won't." I'm like, "No, you just don't come to my inbox. Tell me you want to send me screenshots, but you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
Then why did you reach out?"
Mm.
And then she's like, "Oh, how long have you been married to Barashi?" I'm like, "A few months." She's like, "Oh, okay. Let me send you the screenshots." So this was him kind of pursuing the girl. He had pursued him from before when we were not together. And now again, he was then just saying, "Hi, I want to get to know you," and stuff like that. And yeah. And then the girl went through his profile, and there were photos of us there and stuff. And then he was like, and that's why how she got to find me and then send me a message. And of course, I threw another fit about this. And yeah, I told him, if you think that because you've paid Lowola, you can do whatever you want, you won't get away with this. I will leave. I don't want to be cheated on. It's a deal breaker for me and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was telling him this, but I stayed. After
Okay.
that. I know.
But why
I know
did?
you're going to say that.
Yeah. Well, but why did you stay though?
Well, he apologized, and I guess I just believed in the good side of him and just gave excuses for him that maybe it's the distance and everything.
Okay.
Fast forward August, we had a court wedding. Um, then we had a small court wedding. And on the night before the wedding, he went out with my friends. And what happened? I don't know, but they came back really like early morning, like around 5 a.m., 6 a.m.
Oh, wait,
on the day of the wedding.
when you say went out with your friends, are these male or female friends?
Male friends.
Okay.
Male friends. And what happened? I don't know what he said there or what he did there, but then it raised some questions to my friends. They didn't really say it out anyway, but then we had a good day. On that day, everything forgotten that he had come in like in the early hours and stuff. The day after the wedding, I went through his phone. Considering I'd had those screenshots and also I had had that message from that lady, I just decided to go through his phone the following day after the wedding. Yeah.
But wouldn't you have rather gone into the phone before the wedding?
Well, I would have rather gone before, but I don't know why I decided to go after. I don't know why I decided to go after.
Okay.
Yeah, and there were lots of messages to different kind of women. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I told him, dude, you knew you were coming here for a good month. These are messages you could have deleted.
Yeah, true.
These are messages, if you respected me enough, these are messages that you could have deleted.
True.
And I've told you several times.
True.
No, I've told you a couple of times that cheating is a deal breaker and stuff like that. And then that was a day after my wedding. I told him, I'll leave you. You delete your messages. And no, told him I'm just going out. And then I drove out, went somewhere. I even went to work. Imagine. Day after my wedding. Yeah.
Okay.
I was not on duty, but I did find something to do at work.
Because you just wanted to be away from him. Is that
yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then I came back later.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I forgave him. Don't ask me why, because I don't know.
Okay.
December, he went back. December, I visited him. So when I visited him December...
But wait a second, sorry. The stuff that you found in his phone, it was just chats with girls, again, where he's pursuing them, saying, I want to know you?
Yeah, I want to know you. And a couple where they were actually like words like I love you or something like that. I'm looking for someone to marry. Yeah. I'm single.
Yo.
Yeah.
And he's saying this just before he actually came home to marry you?
Yes.
Mud thing.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, December. So he went back after the wedding. December, I visited him. And of course, I was going to go through his phone. And this time, at least he'd deleted. But there was a message from one of his guys. So the guy had asked him, oh, is that your wife? That was the day before I arrived. And then he said, he literally wrote, shh, don't say anything. My wife is coming tomorrow. And that was it. I didn't confront him about that message or anything. I just enjoyed the trip. I just decided I'm here on a holiday. I just enjoy the trip. Maybe things are gonna change when I move in with him and stuff like that. So he didn't even know I saw that message for a long time.
Wow.
And then come February, for some reason, I couldn't get a job where he was. So I got a job in a different country altogether. And then I relocated in February. And initially he was hesitant to come early. He said, he's not sure about coming without a job. He'd rather look for a job while he's still in that country and stuff like that. I was like, okay. But then last minute he decided, let me just come. I'll come and I'll look for a job while I'm there. So I came here where I am in early February. He followed end of February. And yeah, he started looking for a job and everything. Well, we're now staying together. Things were going on well. It was good. It was really good during that time. And then I decided just to go through his phone again, just to check.
I like the way you say I just decided as if it was casual. You knew you had to.
Oh, yeah, I had to. I'm one person growing up who used to say, why would you go through your man's phone? You know, things like that. But I now understand. So I had to. And then I saw some chats and stuff like that. Yeah, and it hit me hard. And again, I told him the same thing. If you keep on doing this, I will leave.
It wasn't really a deal breaker, was it, cheating? Let's be honest.
It wasn't. No, it used to be, but with this relationship, it wasn't. Because before I would pack my bags and go.
So, what is it about this guy that made you want to stick around and give him another chance? Because remember, you said you noticed he had changed his behavior from being a nagging guy to being a mature person.
Yeah, and I loved him for that.
And then you say it was the conversations that you realized were mature and this is what you like.
Yeah, I was in the castles we were building in the air probably, and the conversations that we had, and I genuinely loved him. I genuinely loved him.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that was that.
So what were these conversations like then? The next ones that you found after you moved to the country, and were they conversations with girls from the previous country you had been to, or these girls in the new country?
Different countries.
Yay!
What about Ghanaians,
Yay!
Malawians,
Yay!
girls from Pakistan? Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But you're not
Yeah.
saying
Then I
much.
started to tell him that slowly you're losing my respect and you're hurting me big time. If things keep on going this way, it won't be good for you. And then he did apologize and stuff like that. But now things had changed. Of course, when I would forgive him, would stay a few weeks where things are not okay, and then after that, he would try and make up for that. Being lovey-dovey and all that and stuff like that. And I didn't go through his phone until maybe 2 months later. And this time we were in a train traveling somewhere. And I just said, "Oh, can I have your phone?" And then he was jittery and stuff like that. I'm like, "Why are you jittery? I just want your phone. Can I just have your phone? I wanted to calculate something." And then eventually he gave me my phone. And then I was like, "Why are you jittery? What's in this phone?" And then I went through his chats. This was in the train. It's a public place. So I was gonna go through everything. He wanted to get the phone from me, but he couldn't because I said I'll make a scene. So don't. So yeah, I did. Again, he was just portraying the "I'm single" picture, and some ladies knew that I was there, and yeah, there were side chicks that knew I'm there and stuff like that. Yeah, and
Let's
yeah.
just talk a little more about the content of these messages, because for now, all you've just painted is that he's just curious and he's talking to them on a manner to say, "I'm single, I want to get to know you," right?
Yes, I'm single. I want to get to know you. I'm looking for someone to marry. I love you type of things. Yeah, yeah. And there was a lady where they were who actually knew I was there, and they exchanged the "I love yous." You're gonna be the father of my child and stuff like that. Yeah.
When it gets to "I love yous," people maybe have been intimate, they've had sex, they've exchanged nudes. Did you ever see anything like that?
No, no nudes.
So
No
all of
nudes.
this stuff so far seems like emotional cheating. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes. It was emotional cheating, which is the worst, actually, I think.
Yeah. I was having a debate with someone about that just last week to say what's worse, emotional cheating or physical cheating. And they were of the view that physical cheating is worse because, private parts have introduced themselves to each other. And, there's some excitement out of it. And I was like, well, for me, emotional is worse than physical. Because the physical, okay, people do the deed and they go. And maybe it's so bad they don't even want to see each other again. But with the
Yeah.
emotional stuff, words are very powerful. And
Yeah.
words can linger in somebody's mind. And if you say certain things the right way, it gets you imagining things, building castles, building scenarios, imagining intimacy. And it tends to linger around longer than the physical, I think, in my head. So I get it when you say that you feel that the emotional cheating is actually worse than the physical component of it. And that's what Barashi was doing. He was emotionally cheating. Okay.
Yeah, he was. He was. And oh yeah, there were some girls actually who were saying, "Oh, you can't do that," because whenever he would do that, then maybe he would put a status of me or change his profile picture or something like that. So then these girls would then see that he's married and stuff like that. And then the other one was like, the other one was like, "Oh, I'd actually told my parents about you and you're actually married and stuff like that. You shouldn't have done that to me." And yeah, Anyway, you know what? And I used to actually pray for him that, oh, these girls are going to curse him. And these cases are just going to affect him and myself, you know.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah. Moving forward, he
Well,
did not change his behavior.
wait. You're still on the train. So you're looking at these on the train. Did you ask him about these messages on the train?
I did. I asked him what's going on.
What did he
But
say?
then, well, he said he will explain.
So you didn't say anything on the train in response?
No, not really. He didn't
Yeah,
really say
man.
anything. When we were visiting my family, my cousins at that time. But anyway,
Wow.
we went on the trip. They did not notice anything because I was just being me, and we enjoyed the trip. And yeah, when we came back home, we talked about it, and I told him. And then he just gave me excuses like, oh, there were moments of weakness and stuff like that. I'm gonna change, yeah, and stuff. And then at that point, I was like, dude, with this behavior, can you try to go to church? Can you try and have some like baptism lessons or stuff like that? Maybe you need a bit of God in your
You need
life.
deliverance.
You need some deliverance. And he said yes. And then he started going at that time. Yeah. And yeah, he did. He did. He was committed and everything for me and not for himself, unfortunately, which he lost the whole plot. And then, yeah, later on, I then discovered other chats again. Um, and also, I realized he was dating one of the girls from his workplace because he had started working there in May. That's when he got a job. Then he was dating one of the girls from work. The messages, I didn't read the whole chat, but some of the messages that were they were like, "Oh, you're a great kisser." Oh, what else was there? Last night you were a beast and stuff like that.
Last night you
Yeah.
were a beast.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Wow. So what,
Yeah.
would he sleep at work?
I don't know. Because I used to work somewhere. I would go to work for a week and then come back and be home for a week. So maybe when I was away, then they would then do their stuff.
I mean, you would know. You can't say maybe, because if he says last night you were a beast, you could you would know whether you were home the night before or you weren't.
Oh, I didn't at that time. I didn't look at the dates. I tried to see the timeline and stuff, but I don't remember. Oh, I don't remember.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I told him, dude, what are you doing? You really hurting me, and I don't like this. I don't want to be a bitter wife, bitter my rashi. And then at that point, I told him we're not gonna have kids in this kind of a relationship. Um, so you better step up, change, and yeah, we can then build the castles that we're building in the air. We can put the plan on the ground, but for now, no.
But Myra, what year is this now?
Still the first year the year he had moved.
So what, 2021?
Oh, 2023.
2023. So
Yeah.
since 2019, right? There's been a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, and the pattern is consistent. So you're 4 years in, and the pattern is the same. In fact, it's getting worse. Because just now you said that a lot of the stuff was all emotional cheating and it didn't seem like it was going somewhere. But now you've read a message saying you're such a good kisser and last night you're a beast. I'm
Yeah.
assuming being a beast meant that they had sex.
Yes.
So when you asked him about the whole beast thing, what was his explanation?
A lame excuse. A lame, yeah.
I want to
It was
hear
a
it.
lame excuse and
What
stuff.
did he say?
So when I found out about these messages, it was after the train thing, right? So he said, "Oh, there were old messages from that other time. I've changed and stuff like that."
Which would mean that from that other time, I said I wasn't having sex, but I was having sex.
Yeah, he never said he never said that they were having sex. He said it it was a kiss. So yeah,
What
it
the
was not
kiss? What the
sexy.
kiss made him a beast?
Yeah, I told him that's a whole lie. I'm not a grade 7 or a child. Yeah,
Barashi was moving mad.
yeah,
And
he was.
Mahirashi, you almost seem, I mean, at the time, I know things are different now, but you seemed almost apologetic for him. So the reason why I'm saying that is if you knew that you were not a grade 7 child and you know what you were a beast last night meant, one, you could have probed, depending whether you're okay knowing the details or some people just don't like knowing the details, and that's respectable. But that is it's such a big red flag. It's as good as a London red bus. It's so
Yes,
visible that these
yes,
people are now doing stuff and just saying at this rate, I'm not going to give you children. Well, he can give you a disease
yeah, yeah, sure.
for
We could.
starters. So I'm trying to understand why you extended so much grace at the time. And I'm hoping because you're out of it and you've grown from it, why did you extend such grace to somebody whose behavior is actually deteriorating? It's getting worse.
Oh yeah,
And I
true.
think and I think every time that you forgiving him, his balls are getting bigger to say, well, she's not gonna leave anyway, so I can
Yes,
do exactly what I want. So, okay, was it because he gave you good sex?
the sex was good. Yes, it was.
So,
It was.
so how big a part did that have in you continuously forgiving him?
Well, I believed in the good in him. I believed he one day he's gonna change, and I genuinely loved him. I did. I loved him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this other time I sat down and I'm like, dear God, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And then um, this was not from God, probably from my mind. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, there's a verse in the Bible that says, forgive 70 times, 7 times. Maybe let me just forgive him one more time and we'll
Okay.
see how it goes. Yeah. And well, yeah. So the thing is, whenever I would go through his phone, I did not go through his phone every day, maybe every other month, but every other month I would find, whenever I go through his phone, I would find something.
But why do you need to justify you not going through it every day and going it every? What's the difference between every day and every month when you still find the same shit anyway?
I'm just saying things were happening. In between, things were happening. So there are a lot of things that happened. Some of the things that I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah. So there was a lot of things happening in the background.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I did find out a lot, but
Yeah.
definitely there was a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. So then at
Hey.
that point,
Mm-hmm.
I talked to his sisters. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the behavior your brother has been displaying. Could you just talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if he hears it from you guys, he will change and stuff like that.
Mm.
Oh, and the sisters did not condone his behavior. They were like, "Oh no, this is unacceptable. Why would you do that?" They actually, yeah, they did send him. They did call him, and they told him that whatever he's doing is not right. If he
Mm.
didn't love me, he shouldn't have married me. Other than bringing someone else's child into his mess and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
you should change and everything. And then he said, "Now I'm going to change." I'm going to change and stuff like that. Yeah, that was it. And then we picked it up from there. But things were now different in a way. It was
Mm-hmm.
not like I was in fully because we had a court wedding. At some point, we wanted to have like a big wedding. But at this point, I was like, you know what, dude, if we're going to have a big wedding and things are like this, I might say no on the altar.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like
Mm-hmm.
I was telling him, slowly, you're taking away the love I have for you and the respect. You've lost respect, and it's going to take a lot for you to build that respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. December. August, December again. This was now, December. I went through his phone early
Hey
December.
man, this man never changed his pin.
No, no, I had it. I had his pin. I had his pin. December, then there was, at that time, there were things like, you know, when he would go to take a shower, he would maybe say, "Oh, I'm going to take a shower. Let me take my phone with me and listen to a podcast." I'm like, no. If you want to listen to a podcast, you can just take the speaker, maybe, because with the phone, you won't really hear anything anyway in a shower. One, two, why do you need to signpost it?
Mm-hmm.
And then I felt, I think there's something amiss.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a message. There were loads of messages, but there was this particular message where he was telling this other girl who he had dated before when they were young, saying, I've always loved you. I love you. And they exchanged the I love you type of thing. I want to marry you. We're going to have a small, intimate wedding. They were planning their stuff.
Oh my
I'll
God.
come, I'll relocate and move there. And then we can maybe get a farm or something like that. Yeah, yeah. And that was not the only message, but this was like the highlight. Yeah, and I took the screenshots of that chat, and I sent them to his sisters, and then his sisters were like, "What again?" The sisters actually at that point said, "What are you thinking? If you're gonna leave, we're not gonna pin that on you because no, this is not right. If it was me, I would have moved a long time ago and stuff like that." And then at that point also I then told my sister. They had a call with my sister. My sister told him, "Dude, you should not do that. She hasn't done anything to you. Why are you doing this? You should really change your behavior. It's just not right and everything." And then he was like, at that point, he did tell my sister that I've messed up. This time I think she's leaving. I've really messed up, but I'm willing to do right by her and stuff like that.
Who are the significant male figures in his life? What was his relationship with his father like?
I built the bridge between him and his father.
So they didn't have a relationship.
They didn't have a good relationship.
And his
I
brothers?
built the bridge. He doesn't have a brother.
Sister?
He has young sisters.
Oh, he's the firstborn.
Yeah, he has young sisters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. The lesson: know him, know his circumstances. That's where it comes from. Like he didn't have a good relationship with his father, and I think he didn't really get some good mentorship in a way. But I tried to build bridges. I would even call the father and give him the phone, talk to your father and stuff like that. If you checked on your father, if you checked on your parents and stuff like that. I tried to build the bridges. I would talk to his family a lot and yeah. And stuff like that.
Okay.
So that happened. And then the sisters were like, no, this is just beyond us. Maybe he needs his mom to tell him that whatever he's doing is not right. So they sent the messages to the mom. And the mom threw a fit. And told him, what's going on? This is not the son that I gave birth to. What kind of behavior is this? Why would you do this? If you didn't love her, and then why did you get married to her? And I hear there's been lots of things happening and stuff like that. And then he did apologize, but there was a cousin of his who he used to send messages to, like things like, "Oh, I've seen this girl. Look at this girl. There's this person that I'm sleeping with." This was a lady, I think, from an Arab. Yeah, I'm sleeping with. Those people are beautiful and stuff like that. So he then on that day he sent a message saying, "You know what? I was caught. My wife caught me. Find some messages about me, and she sent screenshot to my mom. I'm in big trouble and stuff like that. And then I realized he's not apologetic.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he wanted to change, he would have said, he did, things that I was doing, I was caught, and I think I should be a better person. But no, no. Anyway, I did not listen to that, but these were like really things that he was mentioning to me in a way, or things that he was showing that he's not going to change. He's still just going to keep on doing that.
It sounds like you might have sex addiction.
I asked him that.
And what did
I
he say?
asked him that. He said no. I asked him that. Do you have an addiction? Do you need help? Do you have weird fantasies? Maybe. Yeah, I did. I asked him, and he said no. Yeah,
Did he used to have lots of sex with you?
we did. We did. On good days, we did. On good days, we did. Yeah, we did. Or whenever I was warm. But then there was a time then I didn't care whether we had it or not. Yeah, especially after this girl, I didn't care. But I was tipping into depression of some sort.
Yeah.
When you start then ticking boxes, finding the algorithm for depression and ticking boxes and saying, I'm actually scoring. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one day we were taking a walk. He asked me, let's go for a walk. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. And then he was like, oh, no, let's go for a walk and stuff like that, And then we went for a walk. And then he was like, can you pause for a picture? I paused for a picture. And he was like, you're not smiling. I started crying.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you
In the
couldn't.
middle of the road. I'm like, dude, I think I last smiled when I was single.
Wow.
Can you if just look at my pictures when I was single and look at my pictures now. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I'm not happy here. I had a good life. I was happy when I was single, and yeah. And then that day he was sad. It looked like he was sad, and then he did mention seeing you cry in the middle of the road hit me hard. I shouldn't be doing this to you, and stuff like that. And yeah, fast forward January, we were supposed to visit my friends a week before, and we're planning. And then he said he's not going. I'm like, why are you not going? He's like, remember the trip that we had? And then I went through his phone and stuff. And then he said, whenever we go that side, something happens. So I'm like, no, the trip is not the problem. You are the problem.
Yes, Barashi.
Barashi are the problem.
What?
The trip is not the problem. You are the problem. Yeah. And yeah, that was that. And then, well, I told him we were going, and we did. We went. We went again. It was a trip where we would meet my family and friends. And I never really showed them that the house is burning. They didn't pick up anything. But later on, looking back, when you do karaoke or something like that, or you're playing songs and stuff, rotating, each one plays his own or her own favorite song. The song that I played then was this song which says love shouldn't hurt. Yeah, and stuff like that. And then my brother was like, why are we even singing sad songs and stuff like that? And I'm like, but no, this is like, no, I like the beat. But yeah, things were showing. Yeah. And then the trip was over. We went back home. But after that, I used to work away from home. So coming back, I would really be happy to leave work, but I was not happy to go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the place was just, it was not homely. It didn't feel like my home. And I would tell him that this house, it feels heavy to be here. It does. It feels heavy to be here. I remember one day pastor said, one of the pastors that I know, a lady, said she wants to come to my place. I was happy that she's coming to my place. She would come and cleanse the place and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, she didn't come through. Then what happened after that? Sometime in February, I took his phone, and this was in the evening, and I was tipping into depression. Actually, I was not sleeping and things like that. And then I went through his phone, and behold, what I found there.
What did you find this
So
time round?
there were conversations where he was asking someone about if he wants to marry a Muslim. What
Oh my
happens?
days! So he was
There
really
were,
into that
yes,
culture, wasn't it? Because you mentioned that there were girls from all over, from Ghana, and then you even mentioned from Pakistan.
yes,
Mm,
yes.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he was asking about that, and there were also messages to, I think, about 3 or 4 escortees, where he was asking, "How much is it? Can you come through?" and stuff like that, and to different other ladies. And this was in, I think, on Telegram. Yeah, it was on
Mm-hmm.
Telegram.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I was now a detective. I discovered he also had a profile on one of these dating websites,
Mm.
but I couldn't log in. When eventually I logged in into that account, he was blocked.
Oh.
It was yeah, a message popped up which said, "Your account has been reported by several people. You need to verify your
Oh, by several people.
yeah, you need to verify your profile and stuff like that." He was using a different name from his on that website and everything, and yeah, that was a deal breaker. That was it for me.
Knowing that he was dealing with escorts.
Yes, escorts.
Mm.
So this was I realized that these messages, most of these messages when were during that time when it said he doesn't want to go with me on that holiday. That was a week before. So he had his things
Oh,
planned.
so he had
Yeah.
plans to do stuff.
Mm,
And so if you had gone, you'd have executed these plans that he had.
yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably would have done that. Yeah, so yeah, that was it. That was it. In between, I've left things because it's just a lot of things. There were other conversations where even his parents were involved and everything, and they were like, "Son, what is it? What's
Mm.
wrong with you?" So I didn't tell him when I saw those messages that day. I didn't tell him I was planning an exit plan.
Yeah.
And then yeah, he just saw that I was off and asked me. I was like, no, I'm okay.
Mm.
Then one day, and then I sat him down and I told him, dude, this is what I found in your phone. This time I'm leaving, and he thought I was lying. When he came back from work, he was like, Can I go buy you clothes this weekend?" I'm like, "No, I won't be around." He's like, "Where will you be?" I'm like, "I would. I'm moving out. I've booked a place, and I can only go there. I'll go there later. So yeah, that's it." And then I packed a small bag and left.
Wow.
Yeah. So he started before I left. He started calling his parents to say, "When if is leaving me?" And
Mm-hmm.
I told the parents that, yeah, I'm leaving. I'm giving him space. I'm giving him time to do whatever he wants to do. And then when he's done, he can look for me. Or I'm giving him time for him to kind of reflect and think about his life and what he wants.
Mm.
And they said, "Oh, can you stay even in the spare bedroom?" I'm like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Mm-hmm.
I've already booked a place. They were like, we can refund you your money. I'm like, it's not about money. And then he started going about, looked for people from church who came, and when he came, the gentleman who came to talk to us, I told him I need time out. I need space. And then he's like, can we come back at a different day? I'm like, yes, you can come back and we can talk, but I'm not staying in this house. I'll come back, but I'm not staying in this house. And then, yeah, he came another day on a different day, and I went there, and I was firm about what I wanted. I did not want to be part of this. This is not how I envisioned our marriage. This is not how a marriage should be like. If it means if it means giving him time to change, that's okay. And then maybe after a month we can come back and revisit. He looked for a counselor. At that point, I was like, yes, we'll go, but I won't be staying here. I'll be coming from where I'm coming from, and we can go for sessions. We did. We went for a first session, and he was lying in that session. He was not saying like the whole truth and stuff like that. And then when I got home where I was staying, I sent a message in their family group that, you guys, you know what? We've gone for the first session, but still, I'm not convinced he's going to change or he's apologetic. And he didn't say the whole truth in that session and everything. And then he then started saying, oh, you shouldn't have sent those messages in a group where they are my parents, you're being disrespectful and stuff. And I couldn't take that. I exited the group. And then the sisters added me back to the group. He didn't realize I'm in the group. And then he started saying, you know what, guys, I'm paying a lot of money for this therapy. Therapy doesn't work. You see what I'm going through in my house. This is the person that I've been staying with, and stuff like that. And he deleted the messages. He thought I wasn't in the group, but I'd been re-added, and I saw that, and I was like, okay, I'll go to therapy on my own. But anyway, we went for a second session, and in that session, again, he didn't tell the truth. He did say again about being a beast. It was a mere kiss, and the way it happened, that's why she said I'm being a beast and stuff. And he kept on insisting that he did not sleep with anyone.
Yeah.
Although there were messages where he was saying to someone, I'm sleeping with this girl. He said, oh, it was just a mere talk, boys talk and stuff like that. That was it. And I told, at the end of the session, I told the marriage counselor that I'm not coming back because he said it doesn't work. So why would I come back? He's doing this so that I come back home. He's not doing this because he wants to change. And yeah, from that time, that was in around March, April. I never turned back. That was it. And then, yeah, in between, he did portray a picture or a side of him that I did not know. He was very narcissistic. I got to understand what gaslighting means and what a narcissist is. I learned that through him.
What would
and
you
I'm
do?
glad he would blame me for his behavior in a way. He would talk to me like not say very not nice things to me, and then he would go to someone else and say, I still want my wife back, I'm really apologetic, I'm trying and everything. But to me, he never showed me that side of him. He would just come and say, oh, there were things that you did not do. You did not show me love the way you were supposed to love me. Of course, you'd buy me gifts and stuff like that, but I'm not that kind of a person. You should have sat with me down and told me that, dude, I want to be the only person in this relationship. Imagine. You should have really told me firmly that you don't like this.
But you're not his mother.
Sorry.
I'm saying you're not his mother. You didn't need to do any of that.
Yes, I didn't. If he loved me, he would have just loved me. Gifting and buying gifts is it's my love language. This is how I know how to love. So I would do that to him. But to him, no, it was nothing. At this point, you were saying, no, I wanted that. You sitting down with me, touching my face, massaging me and stuff like that, and telling me that you're the only person that I should be the only person in your life. But well, and yeah, he knew I loved gifts. He never really used to buy me gifts. He would buy me gifts whenever we had this
A fight or something.
yes.
Yeah.
Then flowers would come, and everything like that. But not like that. Anyway, not yeah. So, and also he did not show me love the way he wanted me to show him love. You get it?
Well,
He didn't show me love the way I wanted.
Yeah.
Neither did he show me love
the way that
the
he
way
wanted.
he wanted to be loved.
So it sounds like he physical touch is important to him.
Yeah.
Right. So you would want.
He sounded like physical touch is important to him.
But he didn't want to touch you like that.
He did, but he didn't touch me in that, sensual way, in that way he wanted to be
touched.
Yeah. The way you were saying I should have done, you should have done that, and maybe I would have reciprocated. Yeah, in a way. But anyway, I went to therapy, which was good because things changed. I went to therapy. I just started working on myself. I started. I was going out a lot. Went on holidays, and I was just focusing on me, and yeah, things worked out for me. Okay, I at that time I looked for a new job in a different town, so I've moved to a different town altogether.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is this in part so that you can be as far away from him as you can?
Yes. And I also wanted to be with family. I've got family this other part of the country. So I just needed that support and everything. There's a lot that happened in between, but I think that's just the skeleton of what transpired. Therapy did work a lot. It did, and I've learned to forgive. People say this is weird, but I did pray for him. I did pray that he meets his Jesus and he changes for good, not for me particularly, but for even the next person that he's gonna meet. And this is one thing that I believe, that grace is not for me to give or take. So I wish him well. I genuinely wish him well. It's gonna be hard seeing him flourish, but I genuinely wish him well.
Well, I got news for you. You say grace is not for you to give or to take, but you gave him a hell of a lot of grace. Because how would you explain all of the times that you found stuff that he covered up and didn't own up to, wasn't accountable for, but you still stood by his side?
Yeah.
That's a hell of a lot of grace.
I did.
And there was a lot of forgiving, whatever that looks like or whatever that means. But it feels like there's both at play at the same time for the same individual in the same quantity. So you've given a lot of that already anyway. And then wishing well for him, I guess, could be fruits of forgiveness. In that I think once you've genuinely managed to get over something and you've dealt with it, it becomes easier for you to say you wish the best for someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, and praying for him. Some people, I think, do need intercessory prayer in order for things to be visible to them and for them to realize what kind of pain they continue to bring someone. One of the things in my adult life that was very important was a text that I read from one of the books that we were given when we were younger. And it says, God will hold you accountable for every heart that you break.
Okay.
And, when I came to that realization, it made me realize that if there were hearts that I was breaking, I needed to stop. Because who wants to
Okay.
be accountable for every heart that you broke? And this seems to be something that this guy is going to have to deal with. So a lot of what was going on clearly extends outside of you. He's got some issues somewhere that he needs to deal with
Yeah.
that are related to sex and the desire to have it with multiple people of various races, nationalities, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And that is beyond you.
Yeah, I realized that
It's way
it's
way
not
way
me.
no, it's way beyond you, and it can't be a you thing because he's got things he needs to deal with.
Yeah.
And to say it in a way that hopefully encourages him to get help is sometimes people who are promiscuous, like he may be, I'm not saying he is, like he may be, sometimes have some things that are rooted in some form of abuse when they were younger themselves. And
Maybe.
maybe, and that extends beyond you again. There's the
Yeah.
relationship with his dad that doesn't feel like it's great. He doesn't have brothers to work with, and the friends that you've described seem to encourage this kind of behavior. There's a lot of things happening in his camp that are not your problem.
Yeah.
In fact,
Mm.
on the episode that's just come out, one of the lessons was that do not internalize feelings that are not yours.
That
Which
is the one. Yeah.
which I want to extend to don't internalize problems that are not yours. It's incredibly difficult because when I was asking what it is about him that you found and that you loved, you just said that you just loved him.
I
Period.
did.
There was
I
nothing else to
did.
try and look for or try to hunt for. You just loved him. Period. And sometimes that's all it is. You just care for someone so deeply that you just don't know how to operate or how to deal with things, and sometimes you feel you need to make adjustments because of where you are in terms of the love for this person. But there was really nothing more that you could have done.
Yeah.
He needs his own help from whoever he feels he can listen to, because
Yeah.
it also felt like there's a measure of I only listen to who I need to.
Oh yeah. Yes,
And
I saw that a lot.
yeah,
A lot.
and
Yeah.
do things in the way that works for me. And
Yes.
until such time that happens or it does not happen, all your other people, you can chill, you can wait.
Yeah.
And I think that's a dangerous position to be in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um,
so so this is fairly fresh for you then.
oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It is. It is. Yeah.
So what does it mean then? Does it mean you'll be filing for divorce, or
I did. I've initiated.
your
And when I did, I told him that, well, I'm filing for divorce.
mm,
If you really love me, even if we're going to divorce, I'm like destroying this thing that we had and this foundation because
mm-hmm,
it's not how things should be. If you
mm-hmm.
really love me, you're going to start from hi. I got your number from so and so. I'm interested in you. And then I would have also to say, yes, I want to be in a relationship with you, or no, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to be in a relationship with you. But we are getting divorced because I don't like how things were.
Basically saying you gotta woo me again if you want to be with me. Show me that you
Yes,
want
show
me.
me. Yes,
And
yes.
see,
But yeah,
that's another extension of grace right there.
unfortunately, um, even though I gave him this rope to pull him out of this hole he had dug for himself, he
Mm-hmm.
keeps on taking that rope and tying it around his neck and then blaming me for giving him the rope. You get it?
Yeah.
I ended up blocking him on on all things because every time we had conversation. They were
Mm.
not healthy
Mm-hmm.
conversations.
Mm-hmm.
There were these conversations about blaming me about his behavior,
Mm-hmm.
or yeah, saying that different kind of things. Like you never loved me, or you should have loved me this way, or you never really gave me time to change and stuff like that. They were not like good conversations in between. And the other thing that I did not appreciate is him breaking the news to my friends.
Mm-hmm.
He would go to my friends and say, "Oh, I flirted with this girl." So he's the one who went to my friends and he would just say, I just flirted with this girl and she's moved out. And my friends knowing me would be like, no, she can't do that. She's the most forgiving person that we know,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
she's a reasonable person. So, but he's the one who would go to my friends and then paint this picture that I'm being unreasonable and stuff like that. He's even told my relatives that you don't know her.
So
I'm the one.
yeah. So
Yeah.
again, shifting blame away from himself to other people,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
There's a real lack of accountability on his
Hundred
part.
percent.
Yeah, yeah.
100%.
And now I think
Hundred
I
percent.
see why you would say that. He could be narcissistic, and well, that's how you described it. To say you saw narcissistic traits.
Yes, I did.
Mm.
I did. I did. I did. Well, the other thing is I could have left him a long time ago, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. The time that I left him was just the right time for me to leave,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because if I'd left early, maybe I would have said, "Oh, maybe he was gonna change," but no,
Yeah.
he was not. The time that I stayed, um, the number of messages that I saw were to these different women,
Mm-hmm.
um, were more than 100.
Mm-hmm.
These were women who was actually engaging with other women. It would be like, hi, I want to get to know you, or I like your pictures and stuff like that. We didn't even count these ones. Yeah, some of
Yeah.
these. Oh, yeah. And this is what he told me: out of the 100, maybe it's two where I was actually in and emotionally there.
So, why is he telling that to you as if it's good news?
I don't know.
Do
I
you know what
don't
I
know.
mean? He says it as if you must be celebrating out of those 100, only two matters.
Yeah.
That's one
Probably
too
you were saying
many.
you only slept with two.
And that's one too many for somebody who you should be, committed and loyal to.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, my friend, you've dealt with a lot, Shem.
Yeah, I have.
But
There's a lot. There's
yeah,
a lot in between. There's a lot in between. He wanted to be difficult about signing the papers and stuff, but
mm-hmm,
yeah. I think he says he has. That was last week, Monday. I
mm-hmm,
haven't received the formal communication.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's told someone, one of my cousins, that he did. He signed the papers. And then, yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're still in the same house, I'd be worried that perhaps you would be tempted to extend some grace again. But because I know you've left, there's a measure of confidence that I have that this is one final. And also, you've dealt with a lot. During the whole time that he was doing stuff.
Yeah, I
So
did.
so it feels like it's a done deal.
Oh yeah, this one is a done deal. Done deal. But when I moved out, I still had like some hope. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that maybe he's gonna change and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. There was a time I actually called him and told him, you know what, if you wanna get back to me,
Mm-hmm.
um, this is now beyond you. Um, just saying things that we can get back together. You need to meet Jesus in person.
Wow.
You need to change. And not only that, you need to pray. You need to have that faith that moves mountain. I'm
Mm-hmm.
now a mountain. You need that kind of a prayer. If you've ever prayed in your life, you should pray 10 times more. And
Mm-hmm.
more than that, pray that when you change, it is God himself who comes and tells me that, you know what, Mairashi, you can go back to Baharashi. He's now a good person. It's not that, it's not anyone who you're gonna ask to say, talk to my wife so that she can come back, because I'm not coming back, because just a mere human being has said this. He's tried reaching out to my aunties, the Munyai, and the friends, but I told them no, I'm not going back there. I'm not going back there, because if I go back there, it means my family will lose me. They will lose me. You lose the person that you know, and I'm just gonna tip into depression or even worse.
and you've already kind of dealt with that, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, Monifa, honestly, I'm grateful that you're out of that. I'm really keep your head up. You got family where you are. If you have a network of friends that are able to support you in the similar way again, keep your head up and keep at it. And there is definitely no benefit in you sticking around for that situation. You've already been in there long enough.
Yeah.
Long enough. And thank you for sharing that with the podcast.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I thank you, Tinto, because also listening to these stories after I started listening to them after the breakup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, it was some form of therapy. A friend of mine who's been really supportive introduced me to your podcast. And it's really been therapeutic knowing that people have been going through this. Sometimes I'm like, why did she stay? And then I remember I also stayed.
Yeah. It's. I think it's very easy for people to judge, myself included, to say, but you had everything right in front of you. Why did you stay? But until you've been in a situation that tests your value system and things that you felt were dear to you, it's impossible to see some of the things and the reasons why you're staying.
Yeah.
But I really like the lesson, especially, in fact, I will start with the very last one, because I think that one speaks to a lot of people, which is a breakup, especially after serious commitment like marriage, can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. Because I'm hoping that ever since this situation now, if anybody comes with the same level of nonsense, you're able to pick it up quickly and release yourself off it quickly as well.
Yeah.
And you don't feel the need to hover around or try and baby somebody's emotions, because, to be fair, that is really not your problem.
Yeah.
It really isn't. Okay, just play back your lessons. Number one, when you love hard. Yeah, this was very apparent in your situation. If it works out, great. And if it doesn't, you gave it your all. And kudos to you. You really did. I think you took a whole lot more bullshit than I would have if I was in your situation. But all the same, you can now look back and say you gave it your all and you're proud of it.
Yeah.
Then number two, know your partner fully before marriage. Take your time. Listen, the way you kept on discovering stuff, I don't think you could have known them fully. You knew them to the point that you were satisfied that what you were looking at was what it is. Because
I could have explored his background. I could have explored why the relationships were shaky,
Well, you could have explored it, but then you would be depending on him being truthful and honest. And you've just said that whenever he went for the counseling sessions, he was lying. So if he can't be honest to somebody who he doesn't owe anything to, well, what are the chances that you'd have been told the truth anyway? I think they're quite slim.
Yeah.
I think they're fairly slim. So, yeah. I mean, you'd have had good information to work with, so that when you started popping up and discovering things, it wouldn't be as much of a shock.
Yeah.
But in terms of knowing for sure that you would have been able to pinpoint that he loves sex and is curious about other cultures, I don't know if that would have come out.
Yeah,
I don't know if it would have. And then number three, listen to your intuition and then be aware of red flags. Yeah, you had them swinging at you left, right, and center. And then the last one we've already gone over. A breakup, especially after serious commitment like marriage, can be a powerful catalyst for personal growth and self-discovery. Thank you so much, Monifa, for sharing your story. And you guys have been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I'll catch you in next weekend's episode.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Sati's on Daro Raini and the track is
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Sati's on Daro Raini and the track is
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motoru no to kujidziro amai.
Kujidziro amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motoru no to kujidziro amai.